What is up, guys? And I'm Narendra the Comic, and right now we're going to be asking the age-old question. When is enough diversity enough? I'm going to preface this video with a saying I think I've come up with, guys. I've not read this before, I don't think. I've not seen it on TV, and I searched up online and I couldn't find anything, so I think I've made this up. So if anyone steals this, I'm coming for you. But the saying is, a situation could get to a level where you can't please someone anymore because you've already appeased them so much. And I think that's coming true in the world anyway right now with millennials. Most millennials, I'm a millennial, but liberal butthurt 24/7 millennials. There's a difference between someone who is a Democrat and someone who is a liberal. There's a very big difference. You can have a conversation with the Democrat. I'm talking in the American terms, a Laborite, but you can't have a conversation with a liberal. It just doesn't work. You just get shut down because you have a different view. In this video, I'm basically just going to be talking about films, because I'm a film buff-ish person. I'm buff? No, I'm not buff. I'm getting there. But this is basically just about diversity in film. And when I watch a film, even as a kid when I would watch a film, I would see a character as a character and not a character by the colour of their skin. Because I just look for a good story and good acting and good characters and good directing. That's what I want from a film. Even as a kid, I guess I'm just not that narrow-minded. But it's almost like where, and by where I mean most millennial liberals, where placing this implicit bias and racism on kids and teenagers by saying to them stuff like, oh, you can't relate to the character on screen because they're not the same race as you. I hear a lot of stupid stuff, guys. I just do. I do all the time. Most of it comes from me. But this is some next level shit. Oh, there's a Buddha. I thought of Mulan because of the Buddha. Is that cultural appropriation? I don't know. Do I care? No. I thought of Mulan. Mulan's what we're gonna go with. So Mulan is an East Asian character. She's a blend of Japanese and Chinese traditions. I'm not East Asian, as far as I can tell. I'm South Asian, but I'm Indian. I'm a British Indian, and I'm pretty sure I can still relate to that character pretty well. I guess no, she's also a she, and I'm a man, as far as I can tell. I'm a dude. I have that brown in there, so I guess I can't really be attacked by liberals in that case. So, you know what? Don't berate me. I'm brown. And even though me being a man and she being a woman, I can still relate to her. So, no, your gender, your age, your race has nothing to do with if you can relate to a character or not, okay? If I can relate to Mulan, okay, you can relate to someone else. The thing is, you should be able to empathize with anybody regardless of their race. That's just how humans work. You should be able to do that. I mean, if you speak different languages, there's a German guy and a Chinese woman, there may be an issue with a language barrier, but overall humans should be able to empathize with each other without much of an issue. And if you apply this theory that I can't relate to someone in a film to real life, it's mind-blowingly insane. Like, it's that word, stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. Someone who's had the worst year of their life, everything has gone wrong for them this year, you know everything is shit for them right now. You're saying, I don't know what they're feeling, I can't understand it, I can't compute it, I can't get to them on that emotional level, and I can't step in their shoes because they have a different colour skin to me. Do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? I'm waiting. I was just waiting. I wasn't stopping. And those people who do think like that, you need to sort yourselves out. You need to have some personal growth because you definitely need it. I'm normally not like this, guys. I'm moderately politically active. I stay aware of socio-economical political issues, but like not stuff like this normally. And you know, you look into stuff and you find out information. You're like, people are just spewing absolute garbage. You need to take the garbage out. Or what did Donald Trump say? I think he said, what was it he said? I'm gonna drain the pool. That was it. I'm gonna drain the pool of the garbage. Just recently, a cast for the new Power Rangers TV show came out. I'm not talking about the film where 4 of the 5 leads are ethnically diverse and one of them is white, which is fine. But in this show, the new series, there is not one white human in the group. Now, if we're looking for representation, you can't really get worse representation than that, because that is as far from reality as you can get in the West. Just be honest with yourself. Be frank. I know your name might not be Frank, but if it is, well done to you, because this applies to you. I'm proud of you. As I said before, I did some research before I made this video because I'm not just going to go making up some statistics, and about 5% of the US population is some form of Asian, whether that's Indian, Pakistani, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Taiwanese, all of Asia, somewhere in there, 5% of the US population is Asian. And about 1/3 of the world's population is Asian. So what's the right figure for diversity for Asians specifically? Let's just look at Asians right now. Is 5% an accurate number? If 5% of the population is Asian, is 10% right? Is 20? Would you prefer 20? I mean, would you prefer 30? Would you prefer 33 accurate representation of the world? Would you prefer 33%? I mean, it depends on what you're really going for. I found out there was a report in 2015 for all the films of 2014 and the diversity of actors that were in the films of that year. And 73% of all those actors were white. Now, the white population in America is 64%. So there's a clear disparity there. That's a sizable chunk, and we'll get to that later. But there's an issue there within itself, okay? There's a problem there. It's true, it's true. Now, the African-American population of America, Africa, America, is 14%. The amount of roles that went to African-originated people was 12.5%. So really there's not much discrepancy there. Yeah, it could be 14, but 12.5 is pretty close to 14, really, if you think about it. Now I went to the Asian lot, and I'm Asian, so I'm gonna let you guys guess what the Asian one is before I put it up. So there's 5% of the population of America is Asian. What's the population of roles that go to Asians? 5.5%. Who would have guessed? I wouldn't have guessed that. There's an issue there as well because they're not leads or secondary characters, but still, 1/20 of all roles go to Asians. So it's not, I guess, as severe as people think it is. There's still a problem, still need to be handled, but Hispanics make up over 15% of the population. They only get 5% of roles. Hey, I look Hispanic, I don't mind. But there needs to be some improvement there, and that improvement will come from that 10% gap of white actors, which should maybe be in the Hispanic category. If that gets distributed properly, that would make sense. So overall there's a problem, but it's not as big a problem as people think it is. Right now, the second largest film industry in the world is China, and eventually it will overtake the US within the next 2 or 3 years, I would say. But then also there's India, which is currently 6th in the film industry box office rankings, and eventually it will probably get to 3rd. I don't see it coming to the US or China's level in the next 3 or 4 years, but I see it coming 3rd and overtaking the UK. And then there'll be an influx of actors from South Asia, like Priyanka Chopra is doing, Deepika Padukone, Riz Ahmed. You know, people will get opportunities because money talks, and the world revolves around money. But that's about it. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down here. If you didn't, the Mushu is gonna come after you. He's a sassy ass dragon, and you don't want that. He will rip you to shreds. So just subscribe. Anyway, I've been Orange the Comic. You have been great, and I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.